Okay, I'm going to show you how to do the carbon transfer onto your watercolor painting. So last week we created these abstract, kind of playing with color, watercolor backgrounds. And as you can see on this one, I peeled the tape off the edges. So you're just going to very carefully, just a little at a time, just pull that tape off. And it's nice because it gives you a really clean, straight edge that just makes it look more finished, okay? So I have this one that I already peeled the tape off of. Now for this part, again, this should be pretty free form. If you want to make a plan for where you're going to put images, you certainly can. But let me just kind of show you the way that I'm going to approach it. I have a magazine here. It's like an old Ranger Rick. There's a rat on the cover of it. And I just grabbed this because it has a lot of really great photos. There's two different ways you can do these transfers. One way is to actually use an image from a magazine. Like I think I'm going to do these blue-footed boobies. That's a kind of bird that has these really cool blue feet. And I have my transfer paper here. On one side it's really black. On the other side it looks like it has like a kind of like a coating on it. Okay, it's like not as shiny or smooth. This is the side you want to see when you're doing the transfer. This side has this carbon stuff that when I draw onto my watercolor painting, it's going to leave the black mark that's coating the surface of this. So to do this, what I need to do is I'm just going to separate that page out. If you want, you can tear it out. I just pulled it apart. And I'm going to decide, I think I'm going to put these birds in this section over here. So I'm going to put the birds, imagine that the background of these birds is see-through. And if I was looking through it, I'd be seeing the painting behind it. Then I'm going to, underneath that, very carefully put that transfer paper. Again, so the not shiny side is facing me. I'm going to put that between my image and the painting, face down. And now, either with a pencil, or if you have a pen, I've got one right here, I'm just going to trace the bird. I'm being careful not to let the image move around. I'm holding it with this helper hand and tracing it with my drawing hand. I'm kind of doing a sketchy trace. Like I'm not being super careful about staying on the line. I'm just getting that image, the outline of it. I can outline like there's some black feathers on the bird's neck. I can kind of color over those. And I got to make sure I get those feet. And I'm pressing kind of hard. I want to make sure that I'm making the image, drawing it on there hard enough so that it goes through all three layers. The layer of the magazine, all two layers onto that third layer. The layer of the magazine, then the carbon layer, and then it's going to leave a transfer on the watercolor painting itself. So I'm going to stop here just so that you can see what happens. I'm going to color, make sure I trace that eye, color around. If you want to do some shading, you can shade in some of that. I'm going to use a method called cross-hatching where I'm just using lines to do the shading. Basically what we're doing is we're taking this photograph of a bird and we're turning it into a line drawing. So now I'm going to lift up the magazine. I'm going to lift up the transfer, and you can see that my bird is now on my abstract painting. Now you can do this with more pictures. You could do this with words. So if I found, ooh, that's a cool picture. If I found like where it says, love you, I could actually put that on there, put the transfer paper over my painting, and then trace the words on top of it too. Let me find one that's like really easy to trace. I'm just looking through. I think for this, I'll just do this cover here where it says Year of the Rat. So I'm just going to move it over here, and I can trace the letters. So you could find some letters that mean something to you, or if you like the style of the lettering, you could do that. These letters are pretty cool because they make the shape of a rat. Now if I pull this up, you'll see that that word has now transferred to my painting. So that's one method. If you'd rather, you could just take this directly onto your painting and you can draw pictures right on here. I'm just going to draw some shapes, some lines. Not really, just kind of playing, making designs. But as you can see, it's going to transfer right to the background. Okay, so just have fun making this layered mixed media artwork. See what you come up with. I cannot wait to see the results.